As police lights flickered outside of the storied gates at Columbia University, it wasn't just another campus protest captured in the bluish glare of emergency vehicles. Instead, these flashes illuminated one of today's most contentious debates lurking in the heart of higher education. FYI, this video is part of a series or not and is curated from the public domain and is published for your entertainment. Everything in this video is found in the public domain and is being used under the Fair Use Dealing Guidelines. Some content is from my paid sources or Creative Commons source, POV. Everything I say is my own opinion and point of view. You should check the content details for yourself. This incident not only raises questions about the limits of student activism, but also challenges the very principles upon which academic liberty and governance stand. These events cast a long shadow over campuses across the nation, becoming symbolic of the broader cultural and societal implications of student-led movements. How universities respond to such activism reflects their roles not just as educational institutions but as barometers of broader societal values and conflicts. Is such activism a democratic vitality necessary in our educational institutions, or does it foreshadow an untenable future where academic autonomy is held ransom to prevailing political ideologies? Campus protests are a storied tradition, seen by many as the heartbeat of political and social awakening among the youth. The recent Columbia protests, however, highlight a transformation in student activism, marked not just by demands for societal change, but for changes to the universities themselves. This raises potent questions about the extent and nature of these demands. Delving deeper, the Columbia incident serves as a case study of when activism collides with the operational dynamics of a university. As students pushed for the university to adopt policies explicitly supportive of Palestine, an ideological battle ensued that transcended campus boundaries, drawing in alumni, donors, and even political figures. Here lies the crux of modern campus activism. It's not only about raising awareness, but also about exerting pressure to mold university policies according to specific political doctrines. Comparatively, activism in prior decades, while often disruptive, generally sought to influence broader societal laws or norms without prescriptively encroaching on university governance. This subtle yet profound shift is emblematic of a new era of activism that not only challenges existing societal structures, but also the foundational principles of academic institutions. This development dovetails into questions about the boundaries of influence that students possess over their institutions and the implications for academic freedom and governance. In response to the protests, Columbia University was thrust into a precarious balancing act, supporting student activism as a form of democratic engagement while safeguarding its autonomy and educational mission. The university's response is a microcosm of a larger dilemma faced by educational institutions worldwide: how to handle the clash between student activism and institutional autonomy without alienating any faction of the academic community. Examining historical context, institutions like Columbia have typically supported student activism up to the point where it begins to directly impinge upon their operational autonomy and educational purposes. However, the recent wave of activism often calls for more than passive support. It demands active participation and alignment from institutions on contentious and polarizing issues. This shift challenges the very ethos of universities being nonpartisan entities dedicated to fostering a spectrum of viewpoints. It raises essential questions about whether universities can maintain their educational goals while also serving as arenas for intense political activism. Can educational institutions sustain their identity as places of open inquiry and debate if they are pressed to take sides on global political issues? In conclusion, the protests at Columbia University are emblematic of a seismic shift in the nature of student activism and the responses it provokes from academic institutions. While student activism is a vital part of the democratic fabric, its evolution into a force that prescriptively seeks to shape university policy poses significant challenges to the balance of power, free discourse, and academic independence. Universities must navigate these tumultuous waters, balancing the tenets of free expression with their imperative to remain sanctuaries of diverse thought and learning. As the boundary lines of activism and autonomy continue to be tested, the cultural and societal impacts of such movements will profoundly influence the future landscape of academic institutions worldwide. Thanks for watching the Real Chic Chats channel. Please like and subscribe and click on the notification bell. That's all for today. We will be back soon with more news and updates. Until then, stay tuned.